Hello, everyone. Happy Friday. It's Casual Friday today. Let me start by saying thank you very much to Surviving Behind Liberal Lines for gifting 10 memberships. Thank you so much, man. Very generous of you. How's everyone doing? Today is Casual Friday. I don't know what that means, but I guess it means that it's all up to you, ladies and gentlemen, what we talk about. I have a blockbuster news video planned for Sunday. Because, man, I'll tell you what, we do live in interesting times because it seems that every time that I do a news video or prep for one, it seems that there's even more stuff to talk about that we should be abreast of what's going on, not only throughout our country, but our world as well. So let me say hello to Copernicus. How you doing? Good to see you. I know I seen Yarn Prepper here. JT, Jan, how are you? Good to see you ladies today. I hope you've had a good week. YTU 685. Evita is in the house. How you doing, JR? I hope you're back there as well. Good to see you all. Tom, how you doing? Troll is here along with Annie G. A1 is in the house, and I'm getting a 1 from A1. How about everyone else? Am I coming in loud and clear? F. Pierre, how are you doing? Good to see you. Ali is in the house. Don Quest. Be free, be frugal. Let's see. Anything that you want to bring up today is what I want to talk about, okay? I don't want to talk about the stuff that I've seen that I want to talk about on Sunday. I want to see what you all have to input. What do you all want to talk about? Things that you've seen going on in the news, where you live, you know, personal experiences. Let's talk about stuff that you come up with, ladies and gentlemen. Shalom to you as well. Glock 316, good to see you here. Rick Stahl. Jeff Riffle is in the house. And remember that if you do want to contribute by asking a question or something that you want to share with the community, go ahead and put it all in caps. That way I can catch it. And if I don't catch it, because I don't catch everything, just go ahead and re-ask the question, ladies and gentlemen. Keisha Wagner is in the house. How are you doing? Big Dog, what is up with you, brother? Good to see you here today. Storm Weather, Pat Small is here. Salty Dog is in the house. Rodney Middleton, how are you doing? Yes, I heard about that, Rodney. I actually heard about that, and I believe that ISIS took responsibility for it, which is kind of baffling to me why that would happen. But again, we live in a crazy world, and I hope that you're all out there take self-defense as seriously as I think that everyone should take it on a personal basis, of course. Well, thank you. Thank you, Surviving Behind Liberal Lines. Thank you very much. I do appreciate that a lot. Let's see. Frontier Preppers is in the house. What's up, Billy? Good to see you, man. Let's see. Evita says, JR loves your shirt and would love one. He does not like anyone touching his tools either. Yeah, my wife got me this shirt a long time ago. I've worn it a couple of times. Well, let's see. Susan, how are you doing? All the way from Pennsylvania. Happy Friday to you, Bones. Linda Bopp is in the house. The Prepping Mantis is here. Good to see you all. AZ Watch Woman. I hear Big Red out there just thrown away. I'll tell you what. Man, I'll tell you what. The ladies in the chicken coop have been pretty busy. Ladies and gentlemen, we have not purchased any store eggs. I don't know, at least a good 6-7 months now. I think since like October or something like that. We haven't really purchased any eggs. So more like 5 months or so. But it's pretty awesome that we haven't had to purchase any eggs, and we have more than what we can use. So we usually end up giving away on average about 1 dozen eggs a week that we build up, that we, that we're using eggs about every day or every other day or whenever we want to, but we just, make more, or they make more than what we actually use. So whenever we have an overflow, I usually gift some to Victor. Storm Weather, how you doing? Okay, I'm seeing a one from many more of you, so thank you for that. Kim Possible, Jeff Hansen. So yeah, we live in a crazy world. I just saw what happened there in Russia earlier today as I was scrolling through some news for entertainment, of course, because I won't do a video tomorrow, but I will do one on Sunday, and it's going to be jam-packed. And ladies and gentlemen, if you did not watch the video that I put out this morning, watch that video, if anything, for a little bit of education, because that video is being suppressed so bad. I could not believe how suppressed that video is. I don't know. Well, in a way, I understand why, because real money is the Achilles heel of the U.S. Federal Reserve note, or the U.S. dollar as it's known. But man, I couldn't believe how much that one video is being suppressed when I go ahead and compare to other videos that have been suppressed. And the funny thing is that those people that are being recommended that video, I'm getting a really high rate of people that click on it when it's recommended, but it's just not being recommended. People aren't being notified that it's out there. Not even to our own subscribers or community members of this channel are being showed that video is out there. Incredible. Not really complaining about it, kind of used to it now, but man, it would be nice if we can have or be privy to this information, on a basis where more people are shown it, because I think that more people would want to know the information if they had the chance to know that it was out there. Anyways, let's see. Colleen Rich, how you doing? Stormy Kurtz, good to see you. Debbie Hetched, how are you doing? Let me see. Terry, how are you? Good to see you. Let's see. Let's see. F. Pierre, what do you think about the U.S. and the ceasefire before the UN? I don't know what you're talking about. Just a second. Let me see if I can bring this down a little bit. That way I don't have to be looking away all the time. What do you think about the U.S. and the ceasefire put before the UN? I'm not sure I know what you're talking about, F. Pierre. Try to, ask it again in a different way. Are you talking about what's going on in Israel and Gaza and stuff like that? If you are, I knew that there was supposed to be a ceasefire on the table. This was a while back, a week or two ago, maybe more, and that the U.S. vetoed it. And it was the only country to veto there being a ceasefire. I think that's what you may be talking about. What do I think? What I think is that the only thing that gives these people power is to print more dollars. And the only way to continue to print dollars is through crises. So the more crises that there is, the more of a reason they have to print dollars. And that may sound very simple, but it is very simple, ladies and gentlemen. Without Federal Reserve notes, without the fiat currency, this government at least would not have its power. So without a reason to continue to print and continue to print and continue to go into debt, it will not have its power. It needs to continue to go into debt and print in order for it to keep its power. And it's going to continue to do it all the way till the end. And they don't care how many people lose their lives. They do not care how many people lose their lives over this, right? Because it's way beyond that. It's way beyond just control and power. It's having everything. As I've stated in the past, what we're experiencing now is a war of good versus evil. And it's going to be a lot of years of suffering. Wars are always a thing of attrition. And it doesn't matter what kind of war you're fighting. A war has to do with attrition, meaning who's going to last the longest. And it's going to be a fight that continues for a long time. But in the end, I do believe that good will win. Good will prevail over evil as it always has. How can David Clark, how you doing? And thank you for the question. How can you come out of the economic meltdown and thrive? I believe that the best way to do it is to have assets, because if you save your wealth, I like to call it excess wealth. And the reason I call it excess wealth is because I think that you don't have excess wealth unless you're already prepared. So if you're already prepared and you have enough of everything that you need in order to survive a, a a span of time that you're comfortable with, me, I think it should be a year, right? But everyone has different thoughts on that. So I believe that your excess wealth is those funds beyond what you need in order to live, to have an emergency fund, and to have all your preps in order for a good amount of time. So I believe that if you take your excess wealth and you put it into assets, what are assets? Assets are things that appreciate in nominal value with inflation. So, meaning that you don't lose the labor that it costs you to get those assets. So, what are some examples of assets? Land can be an asset as long as that land that you have is a piece of land that could be productive, or that it's maybe in an area where it will appreciate in value, by a lot over time. Gold and silver, in my opinion, are assets. Why? Because they have their worth, their value already in them. You don't have to trust that a silver dime has value. It's already within it itself. Okay, that's an asset. Some people who are very wealthy purchase assets in the form of paintings, in the form of antiques, Rolex. These are assets. And what I mean by asset is that as inflation makes the price of things go up, it usually makes the price of those assets go up first before anything else. And of course, food is an asset as well. So if you have a full pantry with a year's worth of food in whatever form you want to keep it in, that's going to go up in value nominally as well. Right. So if you have assets, in my opinion, of course, I'm not a financial advisor. I have to say that because I'm on the internet. So if you have assets, as the government prints and prints and prints, if you have most of your wealth in assets, then you're not really going to lose out, because all of those assets you have will go up in nominal price as well, just like the stock market goes up whenever inflation takes hold. Look at the stock market, 40,000 almost, right? Why do you think? Well, it's because there's a lot more dollars to buy those same stocks. So it's going higher in nominal value. The only difference between stocks or shares of stocks and real physical assets, tangible assets, in my opinion, is that if you don't hold it, you don't own it. So a stock is just a piece of paper, or a share of a stock is just a piece of paper. It's the same thing, in my opinion, as a promissory note. And if you take a look or read the book, or look at the documentary, oh, I forgot, The Great Taking. If you haven't seen that documentary, The Great Taking, you need to go see that. If you see that documentary and you take a look at the studies that the gentleman did in that documentary, he shows that the stocks or the shares of stocks that people think they own, they don't even own them. So there you go. There you go, David Clark. You probably got an introductory course on how I can take a one sentence question and turn it into a 20-minute essay. All right. But I hope that made some type of sense. That is awesome, Yarn Prepper. Yarn Prepper's Kung Fu is this, ladies and gentlemen. She makes these little things handmade, and this is not the only thing she makes. She makes a whole bunch of other things. So, Yarn Prepper, make sure that you put your link up there so that anybody that's interested in buying some of these from you can go ahead and know where to find you. And that is your Kung Fu, and you're very good at it. And also the little kitchen scrubbies, we use those too. So don't ever be afraid to send me some of those kitchen scrubbies, Yarn Prepper, because we use them. We don't just throw them away or put them away. We actually use them. Let's see. Let's bring it on down. All right. Well, anyone that just joined in, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. And thank you for being here today. I hope that you've had a good week. And today is going to be Casual Friday, meaning that you have the floor. Anything you want to talk about, any question you may have, please put it all in caps. And then hopefully I'll be able to catch it as I scroll down through the chats here. Okay. Yeah, I talked about this bounty here a few videos back. I mentioned, I think, 2 or 3 news videos ago that there were cannibal gangs forming in Haiti because they're a failed nation. I believe that their government had to flee, which, in my opinion, sometimes is not really a bad thing when you're without a government. But in Haiti's case, they're in such despair that people are actually feasting on each other over there. And I mentioned on that news video that where do you think that their refugees are going to go, being that we have such porous borders? They're going to be coming here to the U.S., but they're coming through the shore of Florida, coming in through the coastline of Florida. So, that's a tough one on Haiti, because if any country out of the countries that these illegal immigrants are coming in from, I believe, are justified to actually come here and ask for asylum, it would probably be some people from Haiti, especially if you got people over there, doing cannibalism. I would think that they probably have more, a reason to be, coming here and asking for asylum. Unlike the millions of others that are just, in my opinion, of course, that are just financial or economic refugees, not asylum seekers at all. Let's see. Bones, thank you, Bones, for becoming a member of the Ladies and Gentlemen's Club. Welcome, brother. Thank you, brother or sister. Let's see. Well, John Romaine says, we've been making ghee after watching your channel. That is awesome. If you don't know how to make ghee, ladies and gentlemen, just look it up. Type in Alaska Prepper ghee. I think I have 2 or 3 videos on how to make ghee, and you will not be sorry. In my opinion, ghee is my second choice for the best long-lasting fat that you can store away for long term. First, in my opinion, it's not the tastiest, but it's the most carefree way of putting fat away for long term, where you don't have to worry about it. And that's coconut oil. Of course, virgin pressed, cold pressed, all that stuff where the nutrients are still, fortified because it hasn't been heated up and all that kind of stuff, right? But number 2 for me would be ghee. Why? Because it also lasts an awful long time, and it's very tasty, and it's easy to make by yourself. You don't have to spend the money that they charge you for it at the store. Very easy to make. So if you haven't tried it, try making 1 pint. I have a video out there where I just do 1 pint in like 15 minutes to show you how easy it is so that you can try it. You can try making 1 pint with 1 pound of butter. It comes out to like 15 ounces of butter once all of the water has to evaporate and everything out of there. It takes like 15 minutes. And once you try it, I'm pretty sure that you'll make more than just that 1 pint. And like I said, it lasts pretty much forever. Let's see. Okay, I'm looking. Okay, all right. I see that I've answered that question, so I'm probably behind a little bit. I'm a few minutes behind. How you doing, Mary? Good to see you. Lisa McCormick, how you doing? Nostradamus is here. Amazing Grandma is here. Margarita Castaneda, how are you doing? Good to see you. Skipping Rocks, how you doing? Linda B, oops. Yeah. Lisa asks, how is your son and his family doing? They're all doing very well. I don't think there are any little siblings coming anytime soon, however, but they're doing very well. It's going to be Victor's birthday here coming up in the next couple of weeks or so. So he's going to be 30 years old, believe it or not. Svein Veit, how you doing, Svein? Good to see you, my friend, all the way from Norway. Jersey Gypsy, how are you doing? Good to see you. Morgan's, let's see, Trucker Hersey. I don't think I said hello, Trucker Hersey. Good to see you, man. Lady T, what is happening? Okay, let's see. Let's bring it up a little more. Let me go down a little because I think I'm pretty far behind. Man, I'm not getting these. Did you hear about the talk of unretiring? Are you serious? Is that here in the US of unretiring under 70 and disabled military? That's if they want to go and join. I don't know who would really, to tell you the truth, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe if it's to go and secure our own border, maybe we would have a lot of people volunteer. But other than that, I'm not sure that anyone wants to be cannon fodder so that they can make someone else rich. At least that's how I see it. Forrest, what's up? How you doing? Okay. All right. Let's bring it on down. Battleborn, how you doing? All the way from the Silver State. Good to see you. Low blood pressure is in the house. What's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Hey, low blood pressure. Check this out, man. These are 90% dimes. 90% dimes. I'm not sure if you saw that video that I did. 90% dimes. I got these for about, I don't know, 2 cents over spot. I've always said you can stack if you want to. You can always find deals, but you always have to ask. You always have to go around to places. So for those of you that didn't watch that video, I went to Alaska Rare Coins, and for some reason or another, there's no premium on 90% silver. Okay, no premium at Alaska Rare Coins, and premiums are really low almost everywhere else. Everywhere else on 90% silver, I've seen like $1.10 over spot, and I'm like, wow, that's really cheap, compared to the past. And when I did my calculations, I think I got these 2 or 3 days ago, I forget. But when I did my calculations, I was like, are you serious? Is this the price for these? Because they only came out to like 6 cents or something like that over spot. And he was like, yeah, well, it's better if I just sell it at just about spot to the local community than to take it and sell it to my wholesaler, where he gives me melt for it, which is spot, and then I have to pay shipping. So yeah, all you got to do is look, ladies and gentlemen. That was a heck of a little find right there. I would like to buy me at least another 20 of these little tubes. That'd be awesome. Oh, that's awesome. Listen to this from Billy and D. You should be proud of Lass. He asked to convert his money allowance to silver. There you go, Billy. This is it right here. If you go to Alaska Rare Coins, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't live in Fairbanks and you can't physically go there, they're not going to ship it. All right, because like I said, they're not making 1 penny off of this right here. Well, they're making like 2 or 3 pennies literally off of this. But there you go, Billy. Right now, you can get this at just about spot, maybe a few cents above spot, depending on what the price of silver is today. If it's going up or down, I'm not sure. But it's a great deal. Let's see, what state will be the first to suspend the Constitution, put martial law in place, and take people's property from DT? How you doing, DT? I would say that it probably wouldn't be a state, but it would be a district, and that's DC. I would say that if anyone does that, it would be the District of Columbia first and foremost. If we see that happen, it'll probably start there, right? They'll probably lead the way. So hopefully you live in a state that is free, that has a governor that is not afraid of standing up to the federal government, right? I'm kind of iffy here in Alaska on whether our governor would do that, but I'm hoping that we have enough freedom-loving people here in the state of Alaska, where I'm at, that our representatives will go the way of the will of the people. But in a way that's kind of hard to tell nowadays with the way that things are and have been. But I think if anyone has martial law first, I think it'll be DC. I think they'll be like the test to have other governors that are wannabe tyrants follow suit. But let's hope that never happens. But who knows, ladies and gentlemen? Again, we do live in interesting times. You know what, Johnny? You're right. It doesn't matter if you're rich, if you're always alone. Remember that money, ladies and gentlemen, no matter what form it is in, it's just a tool, right? It is just a tool, and you have to decide what to do with it, whether you want to do good or not, whether you want to bless others with it or just keep it for yourself. I believe that anyone who earns a paycheck, anyone who earns a dollar, anyone who builds any kind of wealth should be able to spend that money in any way that they want, as long as they're not using it to hurt someone else. But again, like I said, it's just a tool. You need to remember that. It's just a tool. Like, for example, when you leave this earth in its physical form, you're not going to be able to take your hammer with you, right? You're not going to be able to take your Ryobi drill with you, right? Same thing with money. Those are just tools that can help you get along here, or we're still here in the physical form. And it just is what it is. Jeff Kozix, how you doing? Yes, we already talked about this today. I saw that. And it makes no sense to me as to why that happened, as far as who it is that claimed doing it. I think it was ISIS, I believe, that claimed to take responsibility for that. I don't understand why. So let's see. SR is in the house. How you doing, SR? Good to see you, my friend. Nice to see you here. Ma too is in the house also. How you doing, Ma? Good to see you. Let's see. John E says, I heard conscription is enacted right now. Conscription where? What are you talking about? What country? Here in the U.S.? I haven't heard that. But let us know where, Johnny. You got a lot of good info today. Yeah, John Lyons, you're good. Good. I mean, first of all, good to see you. But yes, what you said, in my opinion, is a very good possibility. Even Ron Paul was talking about false flags here the other day. The father of the Constitution, Ron Paul, right? False flags might be the recipe for suspension of martial law. It could be very well, okay? But ladies and gentlemen, look, don't be worrying about that stuff too much. Be prepared. If not, get prepared. And if you are, stay prepared. And then help your family and your neighbors prepare if they're willing to do so. All right, because all of these things, martial law and unruliness in the streets, social decay or civil unrest, there's not very much you can do about that coming to be. But if it does come to be, then at least you'll have the things that you need in order to get you through that time span. That's really the best that you can do. Yeah. Cutting Tool Edge Designer, how you doing? Hey, thank you very much, Cutting Tool Edge Designer. Let me see. Thank you very much for that. And Cutting Tool Edge Designer says, stock up, everyone. It's getting close to the need. And don't forget to give to your local food bank. Amen to that. For those of you that maybe didn't see the video where I put that up, I was able to get a head start on next year's turkey drive to the food bank. I called the commissary on base to see if they had any extra turkeys after Christmas. And I called them, I think it was in February. I think it was last month that we did that. Yeah, I think it was like middle of last month or something that we did that. And they had a whole bunch of turkeys. So we're already more than halfway to next year's 102 turkeys that we have to get for the food bank. So that worked out really well. Let's see. Kathy says, I'll be building my root cellar next month. Awesome. The last on my bucket list. That's awesome. Good for you. Coquito Prepper, how you doing, Coquito? Good to see you, man. Let's see, what else? Who else we got here? Man, a lot of people are asking me about that attack over in Russia. Rich Mountains, thank you, and good to see you. Next, Zit says, hey, Rudy, I think you're safe in Alaska from illegal. Actually, believe it or not, let me take out my calculator. I'll tell you, there's a percentage, and I was surprised. There's a pretty high percentage, believe it or not, of illegal aliens here in Alaska. It's about, I think, between 16 and 19,000. But let's go ahead and say 16,000, and let's go ahead and divide that by 700,000, which is about how many people we have here. That's actually pretty high. It's about 2.3% of the people in Alaska are illegal aliens. So it's in every state. And 2% may not sound like a lot, but think about it. 16,000 people is a lot of people, no matter how big a state you are. It's a lot of people. So, yeah. Yep. Coquito says Alaska borders are endangered too. I have to agree with that. But one of the good things about up here is the weather, that a lot of people, once they spend their first winter here, they decide that maybe it's not for them. And that's one of the things that I like about Alaska as well, is that the weather keeps the people here that really want to be here. Let's see. John here has something that makes a lot of sense to me. Let's see. Stockpile coffee beans, better than silver, considering all the frazzled caffeine addicts out there if SHTF happens. And that I have to agree with. Remember, I would prefer that if you're going to stock up on wealth preservation, that you do it with all of your pantry items first. And coffee, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be a heck of a bartering item if you have it in excess. So I would also say that if I had zero silver, I would rather get my pantry stocked up first with everything I need and extra before I start buying silver. And if you feel that you have to start buying silver before your pantry is where you need it to be, or your preps in general are where you need it to be, that's okay. Get yourself a few dimes every payday. Instead of going out there and spending a whole bunch of money, hundreds of dollars, etc., on precious metals, this is what I would do, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so you have to do your own research. Right? I can't advise you, but what I would do is if I still had the hunger of stocking up a little bit of precious metals, God's money, right? I would continue to put most or the bulk of my excess wealth into my preps. And then, just to satisfy my hunger for putting away a little bit of God's money, I'd get me a few, dimes every payday or every month. If you get, this is 50 dimes right here. It was less than $100. So, you're talking about what? 2 pizza dinners with your family? And you can put away enough dimes that if you have these dimes right here in Venezuela, you could probably feed a family of 4 for about a month. Okay. So yeah, you can do that. But I would always say that you do need to put away your preps first and foremost. Teresa Cheney, how are you doing? Good to see you. YTU, no, I've not met my mods in person. None of them live here in Alaska. Let's see. Lulu is not here today. She is in the house with my wife and my daughter. But man, she is getting big. She's getting big. And man, she's a very funny puppy. So today I was teaching her how to growl. And I was eating some roast. And she was looking at me and I said, Lulu, growl. I mean, no, I didn't say growl. I said, Lulu. And she looked at me and I had a piece of roast and I said, and she did the same thing to me. So she was like growling at me, but not with her teeth out, with her mouth closed. Yeah. She's actually a pretty smart dog, to tell you the truth. And she doesn't look anything like what she is on paper. On paper, she's supposed to be a mix of a Rottweiler and an Alaskan Husky. And to me, she doesn't look like either. She looks more like a lab to me. The only thing that looks a little bit like a Rottweiler on her to me is her legs. She's got long legs in the bottom. But either way, she's turning out to be a good little pup. Jersey Gypsy, how are you doing? Good to see you. Paul Sargent, how are you doing, Paul? Good to see you as well. Let me see. Terry says that she can 4 quarts of chicken thighs today. Awesome. Nothing wrong with that. Kathleen Maddox, thank you very much for that. Appreciate you being here. More people are asking for the puppy. Ladies and gentlemen, Snow Angel, thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, if you do want to support what I do, one of the easiest way to do it is to give this a thumbs up. And also, if you could be so kind as to, whenever you click on one of my videos, If you get bored because I just talk too much, which I'm not sure what else I'm supposed to do here but talk, right? Let it play through, ladies and gentlemen. That gives YouTube a clear message that they should be sharing the videos. And I do believe that the videos that I put up, there's a few of them that I put up for fun here and there, but I do believe that a majority of them do have a message that would benefit people that watch it. So I do appreciate it if you let it play all the way through and also share with someone else. That also helps. Wow, really, Tom? How you doing, Tom? By the way, our government's not even paying the veterans their sign-on bonus. Wow, I wonder why. I hadn't heard that one yet. Let's see. Battleborn says, I bought junk silver today while prices are low. It's the best time to do it. Do you ever notice that whenever silver or gold take a big hit, people don't want to buy? But whenever it's going up, people want to buy. I actually, if you take a look at the video that I put out earlier today, I make a very, very good case as to why specifically gold has only begun its next decadal long bull run. All right. But I also cover a little bit of silver as well. I was taking a bit of a closer look at silver today, and it looks like in the short term, it might get slammed down. But again, I am a novice technical analyst when it comes to charts. So don't take my word for it. It's just what I'm looking at. But if silver does come down for a bit, that would just be a blessing. It would just be a blessing to those that can buy it, to buy it on the cheap, to buy it a little cheaper than what it's selling right now. So hopefully it does in a way. But I think that gold is very close. Looking at the gold chart, I think it's very close to having a firm floor at $2,000. I know that we're at almost 2,200. I think it was 2,270 or something like that the last time that I looked at it here earlier today. But I think we're very close at forming a floor, meaning that it's not going to go below that floor. And if it does, it'll just be for a blip of forming a floor of 2,000, which in my opinion is huge. But in the long run, in the next 10 years, gold and silver only have one way to go, and that's trending upward. We will be in a bull market for the next several years, at least 10, in my opinion. Yeah, at least 10 years, ladies and gentlemen. Imagine that. Let's see. Hello, Jacqueline. Jacqueline, how are you? It's so good to see you. Is a 110 watt EcoFlow solar panel compatible with a 512 watt EcoFlow generator? Any solar panel should be able to hook up to a solar generator, Jacqueline. So as long as you have the connector that can go from the solar panel to the solar generator, you should be able to power a solar or to charge a solar generator with pretty much any solar panel. As long as the voltage, let me see, 12 volts. Yeah. As long as the voltage on that solar panel does not exceed the number of volts that the battery management system allows to come into the solar generator. Pretty much as long as the voltage on the solar panel is not so high that the solar generator will reject it. Okay. And if it's only one 110 watt solar panel, I'm pretty sure that the voltage is going to be about 12 volts. Okay. I'm pretty sure of that because it sounds like a garden variety solar panel. So the answer to that is pretty much yes. Nick Curry DePaul, how are you doing? Good to see you. Better late than never, my friend. This is a great question. Diana, how can I tell if a local coin shop is trustworthy? Where I live, I don't really trust deliveries to my house. Well, what you need to do is you need to go in there and form a relationship with these people. So you go in there and maybe you start out by buying a few dollars worth of junk silver or maybe one or two American Eagle. See how much they charge you for it. Hopefully they're not overcharging you for them. One thing that I would say is that at any time, at any coin shop that you go to, you should be able to ask them, hey, can you verify for me that this silver coin that you sold me is 999 silver? or the silver that they stated that silver coin is. So for example, let's say that they sell you an American Eagle, silver eagle, right? An American silver eagle is 999 silver, right? 0.999. If you buy one of those from them, or before you buy them, you should say, hey, can you prove to me that this is pure silver, 999 silver? With no question, they should be like, yeah, no problem. We'll go ahead and put it on the machine and show you how it works and everything. If they're not very busy, and if they are very busy, it's understandable that they may not have time to show you, but come back during a time where they're not that busy and see if they'll show you. That's one of the signs that tells me that you are working with honest people and people that are there to help you and not just sell you something. Right. And then once you build a relationship from them, you can continue to go to them. Like with Alaska Rare Coins, I didn't test one of these dimes. I did not look at all of the dates on these dimes that I purchased from them because I trust those guys. I know that they would not try to take advantage of me. Okay. So that's the kind of relationship that we have now. And I know that if I have to go back there and sell them back some silver that I bought, that they're going to treat me fair. Okay. So yeah, you just have to feel them out and, allow yourself to either be, convinced that they are there to help you or not, and then go somewhere else. But yeah, you can find someone that's good in the area. Hopefully you can. If not, you may have to, go to getting them online if that's what you want to do, and then just try to find a way of being able to have them shipped to you where signature is required or something like that. Trucker Hersey, how you doing? This roll, let me see how much it was. I paid $18. This is a roll of $5, so there's 50 dimes there, and I paid $18.30 per face value. So 18.3 times 5, $91.50 is how much that roll was. So it might be a little bit less today. I don't know. I haven't really looked at the price of silver today. I think it was like $24.89 or something like that. Tim Hardison, how you doing? Tim Hardison asks, on solar panels, do you think it's better to buy 100-watt panels or 200-plus-watt panels, etc.? Just didn't know if there's a better way to use because of price or whatever reason. To tell you the truth, when I think about it, I would rather purchase panels that are bigger than 100 watts. So like, I'm going to talk about OUPES because I'm very familiar with their product. So like OUPES sells a solar panel that's 240 watts. 12 volts. Okay. So remember that the voltage matters on your solar panels. So if you're putting your solar panels together in series, the amount of volts per solar panels adds up. So if you're putting 12-volt solar panels in series, you can't put more than 4 of them together because that's 48 volts, and anything over 50 in most solar generators, anything over 50 is not going to allow it to charge a solar generator. It'll trip it. Okay. So I would rather have 2 240-watt solar panels that when you put them in series, it's only 24 volts, whereas it would take almost 5 100-watt solar panels that if you put them in series, it's going to end up being more voltage than what your machine can handle. Now, you can always put them in parallel as well. But I think that with the ones that are bigger solar panels, they're a little bit more efficient. And they're, instead of having to pick up 5 different pieces, you only have to pick up 2 pieces that equal the same amount of wattage. But everyone's situation is different. So it may be different for other people. Some people may benefit from just getting 100 watts. Some people may benefit from getting ones that are a lot bigger. But yeah, whatever works for you. But me personally, I'd rather have the ones that are a little bit bigger. I think it works out better. Ultra Mega Patriot, how are you doing? Good to see you. Man, I'll tell you what, Evita asks, what are your thoughts about where silver is going? Should I complete my target on the monster boxes or should I start with gold now? Well, oh man, that's kind of a difficult question. Um, because I believe that gold is still undervalued. And then some people may be like, you're crazy, man. But I just think that gold has such a much farther way to go. All you have to do is take a look at history, ladies and gentlemen. Take a look at how much fiat currency denominated in dollars there out in the system. Take a look at how much gold there is, especially in the West, which is not very much compared to the gold in the East. They're gobbling it all up. And take a look at how the financial system here in the West, via fiat currency, is about to implode on itself. Right. And if you also take a look at history and see that usually every time that a financial system implodes on itself and you have to start over, what do they start over with? With gold, mainly with gold as a currency to back up whatever new system they come up with, whether the people are going to be using it directly or whether it's just going to be used for national trading. It's still going to make it worth a lot more than what they say it's worth now. You know why? Because it is worth a lot more than what they say it's worth now. Do you really think that, let's take silver, for example. Back in 1980, silver hit a high of 48, 49 bucks. Back in 2011, silver hit a high of 48, 49 bucks. If you adjust silver for inflation going all the way back from 1980 at $48, I think it's supposed to be at like 600 bucks today. Right. So do you really think that silver is the price that it should be right now? I know that governments know that silver and gold are the Achilles heel of fiat currency. Why? Well, because silver and gold is real money. I mean, when you compare real money to fake money, what's going to win? Real money will always win. So what did this government, at least the US, do back in December 31st of 1974? December 31st of 1974 was the day before gold was made available for the US public to again purchase lawfully or legally, right? To again purchase legally. Well, at the same time, on December 31st, right before that law came into effect, they passed another bill into law, which was saying that there could now be gold ETFs. Why would that be? Well, it said it right on there. I remember reading it. I cannot find it for everything that I've looked for. I cannot find it. But it said it there in plain sight. It said that the reason they were starting the ETF for gold is so that they can control the price and discourage the American people from holding physical gold. That's it, ladies and gentlemen. It's all been a boondoggle for those that have the power, for those that we give the power to. You know, it's been a boondoggle for them at our expense. They took our real money from us, they spent it on them, and they gave us fake money. But what they don't know is that God is going to intervene and give we the people our real money back, and they will be stuck with their fake money. They, meaning the money changers, meaning the crooked politicians, meaning the oligarchs, meaning these nasty billionaires that want to control our lives, they will be stuck with that same money that they made. It will be their gold and silver that will be thrown onto the street because it will have no value. But those of us who are prepared and have exchanged or have had the forethought to change some of that nasty currency, fiat currency, into real money, we will be able to not only help ourselves, but help our neighbors during the worst of times. So, anyways, you know, I don't want to get off too much on that. I truly believe that one day that will happen. I truly believe that when you read that passage that says, AAP, you can't eat gold and silver, and they said that one day they'll be throwing their silver onto the street. Well, I don't believe that that passage is talking about real gold and real silver. I believe that that passage is talking about the gold and silver that they have made for themselves, that man has made, not the gold and silver that was left to man by God, so that we can trade fairly, right? And instead of being robbed of our labor through their gold and silver, which in this case is called the US Federal Reserve note and any other fiat currency that's out there. Because who here does not agree that fiat currency is a vessel that is used to steal our wealth? I mean, that's exactly what fiat currency does. Is it steals your wealth from under you, whether you like it or not. The Federal Reserve has the power to change what your labor is worth after the fact. Imagine about how much power that is. People don't understand how much power that is for you to earn $1 today, put away that dollar, and 5 years from now, the Federal Reserve, through its monetary policy, can say, hey, that dollar that you put away, instead of it buying you one loaf of bread, like it did 5 years ago when you put it away, now it can only buy you a third of a loaf of bread. That's the power that they have, effectively stealing from you your labor and your wealth. Rudy, they say, Busted Beak, how you doing, Busted Beak? They say that certain AFSCs and MOSs will be recalled, not voluntarily. I'll tell you what, if I had a child or if I knew someone who was in this situation where they were being recalled, I would tell them to do everything they possibly could to get out of it. No, not because I don't love my country. No, not because I'm not a patriot, but because it's not going to be my child who's going to be used for cannon fodder to make these pieces of crap wealthier than they already are at our expense, right? That's the same old game that they've always played. Take a look at any war that's ever occurred. Who gets rich, who gets poor, and who dies. That's all there's to it. SR says, AP, I do think that we are slaves to taxes and the party is bringing in more from the southern border. P.S. My city has 50,000 people. Crime is high. A Leo confirmed. I'm late. Government shutdown possible. I'm not sure what that last part meant, SR, but yeah. I mean, anyone here not believe about the replacement theory now? Does anyone here not believe about the replacement theory now with the millions and millions and millions of people that had come across the border, right? That now in California, you don't even have to be, correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember reading a headline saying that in California, you don't even have to be a resident or a legal resident of California, like a legal immigrant, to be a police officer. Can you believe that? Can you believe that, ladies and gentlemen? I mean, if you live in California, correct me if I'm wrong. It's just something that I remember reading. And the thing is that I believe it because I wouldn't put it past of the California government doing that because of all of the things that they've already done to destroy that state. I mean, Stormy Kurtz asked, have you ever done, will you ever do a 30-day challenge on preps only? I remember I was doing a 2-week challenge on rice and beans. And I lasted like 7 days. All right. So you need more than rice and beans. But I mean, the thing is that pretty much everything that I eat is the stuff that's in my pantry anyways. And right now, most of the stuff that I eat is proteins. So we do have plenty of proteins in our pantry. I mean, a lot. I have a lot of meat put away. So it would just be a matter of me, instead of putting a steak on the grill or a steak on in a roast like we did today, it would be just a matter of me opening a jar and eating out of that jar, eating the steak that I pressure can. So I would rather not do that. I would rather leave it there, because it's already been pressure canned. But I mean, I wouldn't see it as a challenge for myself, to tell you the truth. Excuse me. Let me take a drink of this real quick. Let's see. Wow, I'm really far behind. Let's see. I don't know who Lemco is. Margarita Castaneda, how are you doing? Lemco doesn't stand by their, I think you meant promotions, beware. I'm not sure who Lemco is. So I'm going to bring the chats all the way down to where I can see it. So if I missed any one of your questions, go ahead and go ahead and re-ask it like now. Okay, so hopefully I can catch it because I'm like really, really far behind. How far in are we? We're almost an hour in, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. Let's see. North of the 52nd, how you doing? Yeah, Pinball's great, man. Pinball is a good guy. Yeah, and he does the news every day. I just can't do the news every day. It's not because I don't have the time to do it or come out here to the bunker. No, it just gets to me. It's really, really draining. It's draining to your soul, ladies and gentlemen, to do the news every single day. Excuse me. So I try to go with like 2 news videos a week where I compile the news for the last several days. And then I may go for 1 or 2 videos a week. I may go with like a commentary where I pick one subject matter and we talk about that for a few minutes instead of having a whole bunch of different news articles to talk about. But yeah, anyone that does news videos every day, it is very draining to your soul. I'll tell you that much. Let's see. John Uptell. How are you doing, John? Have you heard of hydrogen water or have you tried it? I've heard about it. I've heard that it's good for you. It's like a special cup that you get that you can make your own hydrogen water. I've never tried it. It might be something that I asked for my birthday this year just to try it. Big Chap, how you doing, Big Chap? Big Chap wants an Alaska Prepper 1/10 ounce coin. I still have a few of those, but I'm not going to be selling those. Maybe I'll open it up to do a few giveaways of them here later on. All right, because I don't like selling them. That's all there is to it. I give them away every once in a while during a promotion here or there. And I'll tell you what, I think I'm going to have a nutrient survival promotion here, maybe sometime next month. I'm going to see if they can give me like a 20% off coupon so that anyone that wants to go and save 20% on some nutrient survival can do it. And then maybe I'll put out a free AP coin for like anything over a couple $100 order. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But yeah, I'll give you all an opportunity to get one of those. I only have about 40 left for the year. So that's about all that I'm going to do with this year, unless for some reason I need to order more because people just gobble them up. But I really don't like to sell them. A Big Chap. I'd rather just give them away with something that you got, that's actually going to be part of your preps. I'm not sure what's a good over cap price right now. If you're talking about precious metals and you're talking about the premium, like over melt, $2.99 is not a bad price depending on what you're buying. Like if you're buying a Silver Eagle, $3 over spot is a great price for a Silver Eagle. I bought a Silver Eagle the other day for someone's birthday. Whenever I give birthday presents, I usually give silver. But I bought a silver. It was a 2024. I just bought one. And I think I paid like $5 over spot, excuse me, for that Silver Eagle, which is a lot better than what it was just a few months ago. It was like $12, $13 over spot. So yeah, I would say $3 would be great on regular bullion. Like on generic bullion, $3 over spot. It's not bad at all. It's really not bad at all. Coquito, Alaska, who don't want to pay any more property tax, vote no. I will be there, brother. I will be there because I know it's getting ridiculous. Property tax. I won't say what property taxes are up here because there are some other people probably right here in the chats that live in states where property taxes are 10 times more than they are here. But you have to understand, like where I live, there's no services. There's no garbage collection. There's no plowing the roads in the winter. We do it all ourselves. Right here where we live, there's no services at all. Okay. But the property taxes have gone up every single year that I've been here. And I'm like, man, I can't believe this. But yeah, I'll be there. May 7th, vote no. Okay. David Burdett asked, do you think that there's going to be a presidential contest this year? It's going to be pretty iffy. I think that it doesn't matter anymore. I think that we are going to go through the fourth turning that we're going through right now. It's going to get worse. And this is the scenario that I've played out a couple of times talking about this. If there is a contest, it doesn't matter who wins. One half of the country is going to be very upset, and the other half of the country is going to be very upset at each other. Okay, so there's a recipe for chaos. there's a recipe for civil unrest. If the administration that is currently in power doesn't want to relinquish its power to the people, right, and have a contest, then there's going to be bad things happening as well. There can be false flags that happen. There can be, whatever kind of flag color you want it to be that happen, in order for them to try to, not have a contest. But the thing is that, when evil is at the helm, it very rarely wants to give up power, because power is what drives evil. So we're just going to have to see what happens, ladies and gentlemen. Just look, get prepared and stay prepared. That's the best that you can do. Get prepared and stay prepared. And we're just going to have to see what happens. I've gone round and round with myself, not like arguing with someone else, but arguing within myself. Does it even matter if you vote anymore? Does it really matter? Because I've said several times, it's the system that's rotten. It doesn't matter who's sitting behind the desk. It's the system that's rotten, and eventually the system is going to implode. Now, to a certain extent, I do believe that it does matter a little bit who's behind the desk. All right. And the reason that I believe that is because when the system finally does implode, we need someone there that actually loves America, that actually wants to put it back together instead of break it off and sell it to the highest bidder. Okay. So in a way, we do need someone there that loves America, someone that wants to preserve American culture, that wants America to be for Americans instead of anyone that wants to come, right? Like they are coming now, et cetera, et cetera. So it's going to be a very interesting end of the year. I mean, I'm quoted, it's years ago that someone asked me, when do you think it's going to get the worst? And I said it was between 2024 and 2025 is going to be the apex. And then after that, it's actually going to get worse before it starts getting better. So just hang on, continue to prepare. Don't stop no matter who gets elected. Don't stop. Continue to prepare and stay prepared. Let's see, Gosty. Hey, how you doing, Gosty? Good to see you. In California, the Medicaid cutoff is $1,700 now. After you have to pay California mandates, you have medical insurance, rents are out of control. Lowest is $1,200 for renting a room. Wow, apartment and etc. is $2,000 and up. California is a dead state. I'm sorry if you live there. I really am, ladies and gentlemen. California has been taken over by communism, by wokeness, by socialism, and by people that don't care about America. That's all there's to it. I don't know how you can argue against what I just said. Right? But that's all there's to it. You have a governor that doesn't care about you. You have a governor that's pretty much a dictator. Right? And in California, if you don't get out of there, you're going to end up paying the price for the decisions that are being made on your behalf. That's all there's to it. I mean, there's no saving California anymore. And if there is saving California, it's going to come at a very, very big expense to the people that already live there. Okay? Because there's so many people that live there that are living in La La Land. They really are. They think that everything is free. They think that you can print money out of thin air. See, California has been getting bailed out by the federal government for a long time now. And every time they get bailed out, what do they do with that money? They give it away to people that don't even belong here, that are not here lawfully. So in California, unfortunately, you get what you get because California is not going to change for the better. At least that's what I'm thinking. That's what I think. And again, if you do live in California and you're here right now, I'm not saying that to get you down, but all you have to do is take a look around. Who is doing well in California? Who is doing really well that can say, man, we're doing really, really good? It's probably those people that are in the higher echelons of income, right? Because from what I understand, in California, if you make $100,000 a year, that's barely middle class, if middle class. So how can you be making 100 grand a year and not afford to live in any state? It's because the people that are in charge of governing that state are crooked. They're stealing your wealth and giving it to people that shouldn't be here. So there's to it. Kathleen asked, Rudy, how much should we expect to spend on 90% dime and or quarter? What's too much? Well, right now, the way you look at it is look at it at $1 face value. So if you're getting $1 worth of dimes, let's say, or quarters that are 64 and prior, right now, the very best price that I've ever seen for this time and place at this spot is what I paid for it, $18.30. That's the best price that I've ever seen as far as premium and spot at the same time, right? So right now, if you can go to, let's say you go to SD Bullion right now, and you can buy junk silver for about $19 face value. So if you're buying $1 worth of junk silver, like 10 dimes or 4 quarters, if you're paying $19 for it, that's not bad, because that comes out to be about $1.40 or so over the spot price of the melt value of silver. That's not bad. I just happen to get a great deal on the little roll of dimes that I bought, because it was they were better off at Alaska Rare Coins to sell it to the community at spot than to ship it to a wholesaler who pays them spot, but then they have to pay shipping. So they're better off just selling it to the community and giving the community a good deal at spot. I actually offered Jerry to pay him more, to pay him some premium. They're like, no, this is what we're selling it to everyone for. So that's what I would say about what's the best price. Hey, Mario, how you doing? Mario says, worried about an event like what happens in Russia happening here in the U.S., but we let it happen. I think there's going to be events like that happening, ladies and gentlemen. That's not wishful thinking. I just think that it is what it is. Believe it or not, we are at war. Whether we want to think it or not, we are at a war right now. Let's see. Okay, good. Ann Palmer from the great state of Louisiana. How are you doing? Have you tried Café Bustelo Instant? I have, and it's actually pretty darn good. All right. Saw some on sale and got it as a back. Try it, and it's actually very, very good. Very good quality stuff. Ghosty, hey, good idea. I'll see if I can bring that up, Ghosty, the next time that I have a promotion. All right. And like I said, it'll probably be next month. Okay. Let's see. So Ghosty says, been waiting for a promotion, would like a bread box added. Yeah. You know, it used to be that whenever we did a promotion with Nutrient Survival, I try to get something fun, right, for you guys to get. But I'm kind of like in a part now where I just want to get you guys a good discount. And a 20% discount, I think it's a great discount. But if they can throw in like a bread box, like you said, for people that spend a couple $100 or more, I think that'd be cool also. But my main motivation behind doing like a promotion is to just get you a good discount. It's not to tell you, hey, get this AP bucket that I put together and it's got a sticker of me, et cetera, et cetera. It's not that. Yeah, they still sell it, and I think it's a great bucket at a really good price. But I'd rather just get you the 20% off so you can get whatever you want at 20% off. So I think that's better for the times that we're living in, where people need to preserve the cash that they do have on hand. Let's see. 1 Second After is a great book. I've read it once or twice, but I've listened to it probably 50 times. I love that book. The Redneck Prepper is in the house. How you doing, Redneck? It's really good to see you. Hillbilly Prepper's in the house as well. How you doing, Hillbilly? Yeah, I mean, it's possible, isn't it? Rich Mountains, it's possible. We're at the end of an empire, man. We're at the end of an empire. The things that are happening now are things that have happened toward the end of empires, since humankind. We just have to see what happens, man. I still have hope that good will win in the end. It has to. Yeah, there you go, JT. Thank you, JT. You can listen to 1 second after audiobook here on YouTube. You don't have to go get it. And it's on YouTube, and I think it's in more than one place actually. But check this out right here, this link, it'll take you right to it. Thanks, JT. I always forget to mention that whenever someone mentions that book. And man, there's so many really good books, audiobooks about, prepping and about, like post collapse and stuff like that, be it economic collapse, be it health crisis, stuff like that. To me, they're very entertaining, but every once in a while you can pick up on something that you really hadn't thought about before that can help you prepare better. So that's what I really like those books for. But to me, they are very entertaining. Wow, isn't that something, Margarita? Margarita says, yes, AP, it doesn't matter. The presidential position is already played out. I volunteered at the polls and there was no ID required. You need ID in the US for everything else. You need ID to drive a car. You need ID to cash a check. You need ID for every darn thing. But when it comes to one of the most important things that can preserve our nation's integrity, voting, you don't need one. You can't make it up. That, in a way, is one of the reasons why I'm happy that we live up here in Alaska, because all we have to work. Isn't this sad, ladies and gentlemen? Listen to the statement that I'm about to make. Isn't this sad? All we have to worry about here, if everything falls apart, is Russia. Isn't that sad? That all we have to worry is Russia, because if everything falls apart because of our own government, all we have to worry about is Russia. Because right now we have to worry about something that's even worse, in my opinion, and that is the people that are trying to steal from us our freedoms. It's almost everything they do is projection. They tell you that you can't have firearms, but they're surrounded by bodyguards that have firearms. They tell you that it's your fault that the price of things go up because you're buying too much stuff, but they continue to print money like it's going out of style. I mean, and it just continues to go on and on and on. They tell you that it's your fault that the earth is warming when the earth is not really warming, ladies and gentlemen. It's actually gotten cooler over the last 10 years or so, and it's going to continue to get cooler, right? But they tell you that, but they can't tell you what they've spent, the tens of trillions of dollars that they've pilfered from the people of the world over the last couple of decades to try to bring that temperature or global warming down, right? If they would have spent the trillions of dollars that they've taken from the people to go towards green energy, do you think that we would be using more or less oil as a world today? But in fact, we are using more oil today on a daily basis or an annual basis than we did 10 years ago. Well, how can that be when we've invested as a world tens of trillions of dollars into green energy? Why are we still using more oil? It's because all of the money they've taken from us has not done anything. Why? Because there's nothing to fix, ladies and gentlemen. Do you really think that we as people have the power to increase or decrease the temperature inside this biosphere that we live in, this earth that we live in? I think that the little thing that's up in the sky, it's yellow, sometimes it's white, Bob, some people call him Bob, or the sun. I think that has a lot more to do with the temperature in the earth than what we are doing. But so many people believe this, and so many people willingly give up their lives, labor, in order to do something that's not going to have any effect on it, except it's going to make a whole bunch of people a lot richer. Do you think that Al Gore is a billionaire because of global warming or not? Ask yourself. Incredible, man. So many people are poor today because of this injustice. No, there's countries where you have to pay a carbon tax on this, a carbon tax on that, a carbon tax on this. By the time that you get that piece of meat on your table, it's been carbon taxed to death. And people can't even eat a drumstick because they can't afford it. It's either eat a drumstick or don't get any heat. Which one is it? Amazing. Oh man, I've missed a couple of super chats. Let me say thank you very much, Fat Man. It's good to see you, man. Not everyone can afford to pressure cans. I wish I could. I actually did that. Let me put a marker here. Not everyone can afford a pressure can sirloin steak like you did. I actually pressure can ribeye to see if it made it any better, but I'll never do that again. And that was only one, I think, one or two jars because it tasted just as good as if you pressure can the cheapest meat. That's what I like about pressure canning is that you don't have to use expensive meats. But I wanted to see if it made a difference, and it doesn't. So never pressure can expensive meats, ladies and gentlemen. Also, everyone needs to be buying silver. I agree with that for sure. For generic silver to stack weight, you shouldn't be paying more. Man, you know what, Fat Man? Finding generic silver at $1 over spot in some places can be very, very difficult. Okay, even for me, I would never ask Alaska Rare Coins, Jerry and Dick. I would never ask them to sell me their generic silver at $1 over spot because they have to make a living. They have to pay the bill. So it depends where you live. Like this right here, this was just luck on my part, just luck. So if you live in Fairbanks, you want to get a great deal, go take this off their hands. You're going to get it at pretty close to spot. If not just a little bit more, depending on what the price of silver is between the day that I bought it and now, right? But that's a great deal. But yeah, I wouldn't even ask them to sell me any silver at $1 over spot because I know they have to make a living. But depending where you live, you could very likely find it at $1 over spot. And if I did, man, I would take advantage of it. Let's see. Big Chap says, Rudy, did you see the California zombie who ran away from an accident with a severed leg and was eating? Really? No, man. I don't even know if I want to see that stuff. Incredible. I believe you too. That's the thing. 5 years ago, would you believe this? That there was a guy in California who got in an accident and he's running away with a severed leg and starts eating it. Would you believe that? Probably not. Now I actually believe it. So Gosty says only the rich are doing good in California, I believe. Living in their country clubs, lots of. You know what, man? When society breaks down, eventually, people that are well-to-doers, whether they're good people or not, man, they're going to have a heavy price to pay because people are going to be very upset. That's the thing. Look at Haiti. Look at Haiti, ladies and gentlemen. That is complete breakdown of civilization in Haiti. And look at what they're doing over there. It doesn't even have to go that far, right? So just see what happens when civilization breaks down. These are one of those instances where we can actually learn to see what's coming should that happen here. Hillbilly Prepper, AP, what is that bottle of hot sauce behind your right shoulder? That was a gift from one of you all. Where is it? Someone sent me this 30. Look how big this thing is. Someone sent me this 32-ounce bottle of Louisiana hot sauce. And the reason I haven't opened it yet is because I have a whole bunch of hot sauce in the house. But once I get through that hot sauce, this one will be opened and consumed. I love me some hot sauce. And I really like Louisiana hot sauce as well. But you know what my favorite hot sauce is, believe it or not, is Tabasco. The regular Tabasco red Tabasco hot sauce is my very favorite. And the very best Tabasco hot sauce that there is, in my opinion, and I don't buy it a lot because it's pretty expensive. It's like $20 for I think it's a 5-ounce bottle. It's not that big, but it's a single barrel family blend that they come out with every once in a while. And they charge like $20 a bottle. But man, I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, if you have the money and you can get one and you like Tabasco sauce, get one because it is very, very good. Extremely high quality. It's something that you can splurge on something that will last you a while. Because a bottle of hot sauce of Tabasco, it'll probably last me like a year. For like let's say a 12-ounce bottle, it'll probably last me about a year. Because I mainly use it like on my eggs. I like putting it on my eggs. Patricia, I agree 100%. Man, I'll tell you what, Dana, you're giving me a great idea. I think that's a great idea. We'll see. I'm going to remember that. I'm going to remember that and see what Eric does. When in the past, whenever Eric and I got together with the crew and talked about a promotion for nutrient survival, he always ended up putting his face in his hands like, Rudy, come on, I can't do all that. But I always try to ask for a little more than what I already knew he was going to give. Just trying my best to get as much as I can off for anyone that wanted to get that stuff. Cutting tool edge designer. You remember? Thank you very much, by the way. Thank you for that. I remember the last time that you asked about that. I think you did a $50 super chat a few months back or a couple months back, and I said, well, this year I'm probably just going to go ahead and do it on the down low as far as the turkeys, because times are getting a little bit tough, even for YouTube, as far as revenue and stuff like that. And then I thought about, and I could probably say that you're one of the reasons I thought about it, because it made me think about the turkeys. I'm like, what am I going to do about the turkeys this coming year? So it's one of the reasons why I thought about, let me give the commissary a call and see if they still have any leftovers from last year. So thank you very much. We're definitely going to make 100 turkeys this year. Okay. We're definitely going to make at least, we need to make at least 102 turkeys, because last year we gave the food bank 101. So I want to do at least one more than last year, 102. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to do the same thing for the service members on base that we did this last year, because that was 100% nutrient survival who did that, who was able to provide a turkey dinner to like an extra 100 and plus people there, which was awesome. Or service members, not just people. Let's see. Lisa, how you doing? Lisa and Sloth Adventure, how are you doing? Heard Lynette Zhang on Gerald Salenta's show say that gold's true value is about 40,000. It depends on how you look at it. If you take gold and you divide it into, if you take the ounces of gold, right, and you divide it into all of the dollars that are out in circulation that are backed by nothing, ladies and gentlemen. The only thing that the dollar is truly backed by, in my opinion, is your labor. Because as soon as we, the people, stop paying taxes, which what is that? Our labor, right? As soon as we stop paying taxes, the dollar collapses. Why is that? Because the U.S. will no longer be able to borrow. Why? Because there's nobody paying the interest. So if we can't pay taxes, we can't pay interest. And soon after, the dollar will collapse if that happens. So if you took all of the unbacked fiat, Federal Reserve notes out there, either in paper, in real physical form, or in digits on a computer, and you divided the number of ounces of gold that we supposedly hold as a nation, the price of gold could be that. I've heard it could be as high as $80,000. I've heard $40,000 before. I've heard $15,000 if it's backed up like 40%. So many numbers. In my opinion, it doesn't matter what gold can really be valued at. I think what mainly matters is that you hold some of it. You don't have to hold a whole bunch of it. I would never say take your entire retirement and put it into gold IRA or whatever, no matter whether I have ITM Trading and Genesis Gold Group as a couple of my video sponsors. I would never say something like that. But what I would say is this. I'm not a financial advisor. I have to say that because I'm on the internet. What I would say that is it doesn't hurt to own a little bit. It doesn't hurt to own a little bit. Remember, if you took this to Venezuela, this can feed a family of 4 for roughly a month. 3 squares a day. A family of 4 for roughly a month. Okay. And why is that? Because silver's true value is indicative of this much silver feeding a family of 4 for about a month. That's why. And it doesn't matter where in the world you are. You'll be able to change this into whatever fiat currency there is, whatever country you're at, and then be able to use that fiat currency to go buy your loaf of bread or whatever it is that you're going to buy. Let's see. Hey, AP, give Gray Man. Are you? Oh, that's funny, Rick. I was thinking that maybe Gray Man was on live tonight, but I know what you're talking about. Hey, let me bring that up. Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that don't know, every Monday at 3 p.m. Alaska time, 7 p.m. Eastern time. We rotate 1 week on my channel, 1 week on Gray Man's channel. We have a live stream with me and Gray Man, or with Gray Man and I. Next Monday, it just happens to be that it will be on Gray Man's channel. So go check it out. It's always a lot of fun when we get together and talk on Monday. So go check that out if you haven't. A Hobbit is in the house. How you doing, A Hobbit? It's good to see you. Okay, let's bring it on now. Okay, what time? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're almost at an hour and a half. So I think we're probably going to start closing it down a little bit. Let's see. Fat Man Prepper. Thank you, Fat Man Prepper. My local coin shop charges $1 over spot for generic silver bars. Man, that is such a great deal. That is a great deal. And 3% over spot for generic gold bars. Because that is an awesome deal, man. I would be taking advantage of that all day long. That is a great deal. Good for you. Ann Palmer, that sounds awesome. Tabasco ice cream from the Tabasco store where they make it in Louisiana. Oh, that would be awesome. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go ahead and call it for today. I want to thank you very much for joining in. Had a great time. We're at about almost an hour and a half. So thank every one of you that joined in. I truly do appreciate you spending a little bit of time here on this Friday. I hope that you have a great weekend. There's no videos forecasted for being put out for tomorrow. But on Sunday, I'll be up nice and early to work on the news video, and it's going to be jam-packed. So thank you again for joining in. I want to say, I forgot the Friday safety brief. Ladies and gentlemen, make it very simple. Don't drink and drive. If you're going to drink, don't drive. If you're going to drive, don't drink. I'm sure that you worked very hard this week. Don't ruin it by getting a DUI or even worse, hurting someone because you couldn't call an Uber, a cab, or a friend to bring you home after a night out of partying. All right. So you can party all you want, but just be responsible about it, because we want to be able to see you back here on Monday. Well, not here on Gray Man's channel on Monday during our live. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Sunday for the news video. And other than that, God bless every one of you. God bless America. Let me go ahead and put our outro. If you are new to our community, make sure you put I am new in all caps. That way we can shout you out during our outro. All right. God bless you and have a great weekend, ladies and gentlemen. Where's my outro? Here we go.